Sneho yata mang sapindang vyapnoti vyapya yatyapi sarvan lokanahang tadvat sarvavyapi tatosmyaham. Just as ghee pervades a piece of food and makes the body of the eater grow, similarly I pervade all the worlds. Therefore, I am the pervader of all. Brahmā harishcha bhagavan adyantam nopalabdhavan tatonye chasura yasmad ananto hamitiritaha. Because Brahmā, Viṣṇu the Lord, and other deities do not see the beginning or end of my form, I am called the Infinite. Garbha janma jara mrityu samsara bhavasagarat tarayami tato bhaktang tasmat taro hamiritaha. Since I save my devotee from the ocean of dread of being born in a womb, old age, death, and the cycle of births and deaths, I am called the Saviour. Chaturvideshu deheshu jivatvena vasamyaham sukshmo bhutva cha hrideshe yattat sukshmang prakirtitaha. I dwell as the soul in the four kinds of bodies, born of womb, of egg, of the sweat, and of the earth. Taking a subtle form, I live in the heart. Hence, I am called the subtle. Mahatamasi magnebhyo bhaktebhyo yat prakashaye vidyud vadatu lam rupang tasmad vidyutamasmyaham. I illumine the devotees immersed in the primeval darkness of ignorance with my incomparable light, like that of lightning. Therefore, I am known as lightning. Eka eva yato lokan visrijami srijami cha vishvasayami grihnami tasmadeko hamishwaraha. Since I alone create and dissolve the worlds, make the souls go from one world to another, and bestow grace, I am the only Supreme Lord. Namaste. So Shiva is all-pervasive. He is the nourishment in everything, the bliss in everything. In fact, he is the existence of everything. We don't often stop to think about it, but where does the quality of existing come from? Everything that we see has the quality of existence. But just like we see that everything has color, we know the color comes from certain chemicals or dyes or paints, or maybe the nature of the material itself. But where does the quality of existence come from? That is only Shiva. And why? Because he pervades everything, and he is Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means eternal existence, never born, never dies. Eternal, not subject to change. So he is in everything, and he is the sweetness in everything. He is that which is enjoyable, the rasa, the taste. Everything, especially the possessions that we prize and cling to, even though it's not good for us, comes from Shiva. So it has a certain sweetness or rasa, a taste that we enjoy. That's why we keep it. The taste could be that it's useful, like a cup. It holds liquid so we can drink, or maybe a cherished pet, or a house or a car or something like that. We get something from that thing, and that's enjoyment, convenience, power, agency, the ability to act and get things done. And that is all coming from Shiva. It's not us, huh? Who are we? So when we see anything beautiful, powerful, that has sweetness, like the birds in the early morning, their calls are so sweet, huh? We love them. We love the trees and the flowers. We love nature, the sky, the sun. This is all coming from Shiva. Shiva is the ultimate repository of that beingness and that sweetness. The demigods do not see the end of Shiva's form. Back in the beginning of the universe, Shiva manifested as a column of fire, the Agni Lingam. And Brahmā and Viṣṇu both went looking for the end of it, or the source of it. They couldn't find anything. Because Shiva is the infinite. He is beyond the material universe, and the gods are restricted. They're limited by the universe because their nature, their jobs are to protect and preserve this universe. First of all, to create it. Brahmā creates all the planetary systems. Viṣṇu has all the elements, the tanmatra, the prakriti, the raw material elements that Brahmā uses to fashion into the worlds. But it's all destroyed at the end. By who? Shiva, in his form of Rudra. So we can understand that he is more powerful than they are. He is unrestricted, unlimited, and they are limited. So he is the infinite. There is only one infinite. Don't believe the mathematicians and scientists, the mental speculators, they are simply working with symbols. But Shiva is the real thing. He is the infinite, and there is only one. Next, he saves his devotee from the ocean of birth and death, old age, disease, and suffering. How does he do that? Because he puts us in this ocean to begin with. Or rather, we jump into it of our own accord. Out of ignorance, we think it's an ocean of enjoyment, but actually it's an ocean of suffering. And the longer we're here, the more lifetimes we try and try again to enjoy, we discover that it's simply not enjoyable. If everything ends in death, how can we enjoy? We always have that death sentence hanging over our heads. So to take a material body and identify with it as the self is the cause of suffering. As Buddha says, birth is the cause of death. Desire is the cause of suffering. He's telling it like it is. The fact that we desire to be here, to exist as an individual, is the delusion that begins the whole chain of dependent origination, dependent arising. And that ends in suffering every single time. So we have to give it up. We have to let go of our attachment to this world of birth and death and accept Shiva's kind offer to merge with him, to be with him forever in his world where there is no birth and death. This is anugraha. This is mercy, grace. And therefore, he is the savior of all saviors. Then, he dwells in the body as the soul. We are not the soul. The soul means the individual, the sense of egoity, of separateness. And that is illusion. That is maya. Huh? That is the snake. And Shiva is the rope. He is the reality. And when we are enlightened with his light, light here means knowledge. Huh? Tamaso mas jyotirgamaya. Huh? He is that light of knowledge that distinguishes truth from illusion and awakens us to the actual nature of existence and reality, which is bliss. It's beauty, love, knowledge, all these things combined together. And these are simply the beginning. The actual thing is when we get to meet Shiva, when Shiva reveals himself to us. He's here, but we don't see him because of our ego blocks. The granthis, we discussed that in a video a long time ago. This is what keeps us in illusion. This is what keeps us in this world of birth and death. So as soon as we can penetrate those granthis, those knots, and cut them asunder, then Shiva reveals himself and we see the reality as it really is. Finally, he is the one behind all of this. He creates, maintains, and destroys the universe. He is the soul, the subtle organ, the internal organ, which is mind, intelligence, and false ego. He lives within the heart, in the bindu, the dimensionless point that actually includes all of everything, even beyond space and time. So this is Shiva, and we should take the time to hear his glories, because by hearing them, we develop love for him. And by that love, that bhakti, we are delivered from this world of birth and death. Om Tat Sat. Om Shakti Om. Om Namah Shivaya.